chair is against the wall. John has a long mustache. John has a long mustache. It's 12 o'clock, Americans, another day closer to victory. And for all of you out there on or behind the lines, this is your song.
And welcome everybody to our daily gun show. We come to you live every night at midnight Eastern. That's 9 Pacific for about an hour each night. We'll do 3 gun-related topics with different topics throughout the week. We run it live on YouTube because it's the easiest thing for us to do at the moment. We simulcast it over on gunchannels.com, and we're watching the comments from everybody that watches the show live. We appreciate the people that join in the conversation. That's what it's all about. When it's over, we'll take the best of, post those on Instagram, on where are we posting those? On iTunes as a podcast. And we do appreciate everybody that listens to the show once it's rendered into a video over on the YouTubes, and the people that listen to it on iTunes, especially those that leave us comments out there, because that lets us, the human beings that do the show, know that you're out there. So we appreciate it. It also lets the robots that run the internet know that our show's interesting and hopefully gets recommended to more listeners. And that's one of our goals. So we do appreciate it. That's why we talk about it at the beginning of every single show. We have guests. 4 of us are here tonight. We got Angelina jumping in from California. Thanks for joining.
Thank you for having me. Hello, everyone.
And then we got Bob jumping in from Canada.
Howdy ho, everybody.
Next up is the little snowman there, is Smeggy from Michigan.
Hey, how's everyone doing tonight?
And I'm down in Tucson, Arizona. So that wraps up pretty much the whole country, except for Florida, dangling over there by itself. We've never had a host from Florida, have we? Maybe we never will. All right, so I guess we'll move on to the show. It is Thursday. I've been running around all day. So it is Thursday. It's the episode 524. We're doing these for 524 episodes. We've never missed an episode. Or wait, maybe we missed one. Ever. Today's Thursday, so we talk CCW. Where's Dano? In fact, I'm pretty sure Dano was instructed to be.
Isn't it online training day?
Yeah, it's like his whole topic.
Dano's day?
Oh, it's
he was in the Smeggy cave till about 11:30. So
really,
just saying.
Maybe he's getting prepared. Maybe he's gathering all his resources. So
I didn't even know there was a cave.
There's always a cave, but I guess it was open today. You're saying?
Yeah, I sent links out, but either way, that's fine. We can move on to the show. I was just mentioning that he's alive.
Right on. So we'll be talking on the training. We'll wedge in lasers on guns somehow, and the best way to avoid chafing. Today is the chafing episode. We do all our normal stuff too. So before we dig in, we usually take a break at the beginning here to see if anything happened, during the day or in one of those warm-up shows that happened before ours.
I don't think so. Kim Jong, whatever one is there now, and Donald Trump are going to hang out, right?
Yeah.
Indian wrestle.
Kim Jong-un.
I thought it was mud wrestling or jello wrestling.
No, I'm talking as soon as Trump goes up to shake his hand, he should yank him to the ground in Indian wrestling, like Indian leg wrestling.
Just bring him down.
Oh, well, we've seen Trump on TV. He'll take somebody down with a clothes hanger, man. Like, hey, I watched that where he was a wrestling coach for a while. Yeah.
All right, there's nothing to do with the show.
So I have a little bit of news. I'm not sure if it happened today or possibly yesterday, but the evil bad gun control bills in Florida, they have now passed both things, the Senate and the House.
In Florida, yeah.
In Florida, and that's the raising the age, adding a waiting period for rifles and shotguns, and banning multi-burst trigger activators.
No, that's Hawaii.
Yeah, okay, but it's still, they have some type of, accelerated trigger ban thing or whatever.
It's something against bump stocks and aiming accelerates the rate of fire, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it's horrible. Hopefully the governor has got some balls on him, but we'll see.
Okay, well, or you not give it up to one individual and hope that they go your way. Florida, a state that's lives on tourism, I would think would be susceptible, as with their businesses like Disneyland, to phone calls and urging them to reconsider changing the people's rights based on the media right now, media hype. I think we could sit around, do nothing, and watch Florida do it, or this is the time to make some calls to Florida, right? Everybody's watching it on the news. I've heard it on the news. All right.
Yeah, true enough. Okay. What was our first subject again? Chafing? Chafing? No.
Shaving.
Chafing.
What's the best way to avoid rubbing and sweating on your inside the waistband gun? Holster styles, undergarments. Also, are stainless guns really better?
Oh, that's a pretty complicated question, right? Like, look, why couldn't we just stay at the chafing and I just go? It's easy. You don't want to carry that way. Just hang it on the outside of your belt like a normal person, and then you're good to go. Wear a shirt.
What's the best way to pick apples? Easy. Have a corn farm. I mean, come on. You didn't answer the question at all. So no. I would say, I know the inside the waistband holster that I have, it's a Kydex holster, and it does have a sweat guard. So the holster comes all the way up, and so my skin is never really touching the slide of the gun. The grip will touch my skin or whatever, but it seems to work okay. I mean, I still take my gun apart and clean it and wipe down the outside a little bit more often than like a range gun because I am carrying it, but that's also because of dust and whatever else might get on it. But I think if you have a good holster that just keeps it where your gun's not even touching your skin, you're less likely to get sweat on it.
Do you experience rust a lot on your firearms being a snowman, or no?
No, because of the magic properties of the snow that I'm made out of, it does not have any accelerated rusting effects.
Okay.
I also avoid salt, so that helps.
Does that mean if someone were to come up and grab a chunk of smeggy and wipe it on their guns would never rust?
They are likely, or they are invited to try.
I think if you grab a chunk of smeggy, you'll hear a pop and the lights will go out. I mean,
that'd be my prediction.
But yeah, I mean, so rubbing, sweating, undergarments, stainless, I don't know. I usually carry inside the waistband like a full Kydex, and much like Smeggy, I have a sweat guard on mine. Girls also don't sweat, we glisten. So yeah, I mean,
you have a glisten guard, not a sweat guard.
Yeah, I have a glisten guard on mine. But no, for real, I mean, I've never experienced like a chafing. I mean, from my holster. Yeah, I don't know. But I've never like had like a sweaty ass day with a holster in my pants, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the undergarment thing I'm reading out here on the chat, Hunter's saying that his Kydex has a full sweat guard, but then in the winter he's wearing an undershirt. So that can help a lot too. And even just for comfort too, because I know some people, they don't even like having that Kydex like right up against the skin. So if you like tuck in an undershirt and then you have the holster and then you're wearing like your regular shirt.
Yeah, so you have like a little buffer.
Right. Then that's going to keep the gun off your skin and keep your sweat off your gun a little bit.
What about, so we know like hybrid Kydex holsters with leather. So that's leather on your skin. That seems sweaty too. And then there's also whatever alien gear is made out of, like a neoprene or something. That must be kind of breathable.
And that's the thing too. I think it's breathable, yet it's also
like a mouse
like a moisture barrier as far as, keeping it from hitting your gun or something.
Neoprene like a mouse pad?
I think so, yeah. I mean, I don't I had one alien gear experience and I never went back, but yeah.
A diving suit neoprene kind of thing?
Yeah, I think so. Like lightweight spongy fabric.
Yeah, that'd be sweaty.
So Steve's saying on the Instagram side, hey Steve, that a sweat guard in a high heat and humidity environment aren't going to prevent rust unless you wear an undershirt. So I think I tend to agree. I don't wear an undershirt, I just wear a shirt and then have a other shirt also.
I know someone that used to bra carry, and I would say that seems like sweaty and gross.
I have one of these like hybrid holsters where it's leather, but then on the back it's like a what's that, like a suede. So it's actually it's quite comfortable. Like it's soft and fuzzy up against your skin. But I'm thinking the leather probably keeps the moisture from like coming through and getting up against the gun.
So I don't ever do any of that weird stuff because I don't want a bunch of weird leather touching me. So I just jam the gun into my guts, and you get a callus after a while, like you're supposed to. And then my guns have never rusted, so I think I sweat on them. But maybe it's just a chemistry thing, because I know people who've had guns that do rust up around the rear sights and stuff.
So you have like a gun callus somewhere on your body?
Yeah. You just get the rear sight a little bit jabs into you, and then after a while it quits bothering you.
That's your gun spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the biggest thing on that is, you know, the whole taking care of and keeping the outside oiled up a little bit. I think that's your best combatant to, if you're worried about the rusting part of it. As far as is stainless better, I would say yes. I mean, stainless can rust, but it not as often or not as easy. So that might help as well.
I mean, really, if you care about the rusting or whatever, then you should just kind of like wipe it down at the end of every day, right? Like give it a quick once over with like a cloth on the outside just to kind of get your like dirty ass body off of it.
You kind of have to, I think. Like, say some people, I don't know if it's the, you know, we have different chemistry or what, but I know people that their guns rust up, and I don't know if they do that kind of stuff or don't do that kind of stuff, but their guns do rust up. Steve's saying that the rear sight rust doesn't affect function, and that's pretty true. I mean, except for trying to get the rear sight off ever again. Doesn't really matter. It does get rust all over you if it's been like jabbing into you and getting all rusty.
Well, so what are we saying? So the best way to avoid rubbing and sweating on your in-waistband gun
shirt
is
shirt.
Wear a shirt.
Between you and the gun.
See, I can totally see that working. I'm not a huge fan of like wearing two shirts. Now, in the middle of winter, that's different. But even then, I normally just wear a t-shirt and then put my coat on.
Yeah, so. And then whatever like sweaty gun you get, you're just like, oh, okay, that's what happens, right? Or snowy gun, whatever.
I'm still trying to get my head around an image of a snowman wearing a t-shirt and a jacket.
Look out for Smeggy's new logo coming soon. Tactical snowman.
Yeah, get on that, people that are good at art.
Art people. All right, well, so I think we got this one kind of figured out. What do you guys think?
I feel like we solved it. You're welcome.
Solved it. So, all right, so it solves. So wear a shirt and wipe your gun down. So yeah, we'll go on to the next topic, which is gun stuff today, which is lasers on guns. But before we get there, we feature what?
We want to talk about channel on gun channels.
We want to talk about a channel on gun channels. Budget guns and gear. So there are tactical featured member of the day.
Yeah, I know they do a lot of videos they'll post up on the main news feed. I'm not sure if they have been in like a lot of the nightly shows or whatever, but I'm trying to think if I've talked to them before. I might have.
Sometimes
I don't know a lot about them. I see them a lot on the main news feed. Like, hey, check out this new video I just put up, and
yeah,
it's normally pretty good information. So
yeah, so check them out. So now going forward, lasers on guns and possibly sharks.
Oh,
where are we gonna go with this?
I am anti-shark lasers.
So you're for laser control on sharks.
I'm very much pro laser control on sharks, yes.
Okay. What about on guns?
You know, I'm actually thinking I kind of was against it at first, but now I'm kind of thinking it'd be kind of cool. But, you know.
Yeah,
Do you have a laser? on any of your guns?
I don't have any of that stuff. I only just recently acquired a gun that actually has the ability to mount anything on for a handgun, because John Browning didn't make one with another manufacturer.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't have any experience with lasers on guns. I totally see the like the potential of use, and I know some people are like, oh, just learn to shoot or whatever. Well, okay, that's one thing, but if you're in a defensive situation, it might be you have a chance where you're injured or just you're at a weird angle or something where you might be able to kind of stick the gun out and around and see where the laser's hitting, but you're not like right behind your gun to get a good sight picture. So you can still make an accurate shot from a weird angle or a weird position. So I definitely think that they can be a good tool. I really like the ones that are just kind of like built into the grip on revolvers. I think those are kind of neat. And a lot of those are just like you grab it and the laser turns on. Like that's kind of a cool.
Those are pretty cool. All right, what about Bob G-Webs, lasers on guns?
We already heard from Bob, so
I think he still had some more to say.
We've got Steve on the Instagram side saying, think about awkward positions, police station assault where the officers were literally shooting over desks. So that's something that if you haven't experienced wearing night vision and having a laser, either infrared or a optical, you're able to shoot from the hip easily because you can see the laser brightly at night. I guess even with an optical laser, you can shoot from the hip pretty easily at steel or something. So yeah, for awkward positions and that kind of thing, why wouldn't you want that advantage? I don't know where the people's issues with lasers come from. It's fuddish at this point because we're not talking Chinese garbage, right? That gets bolted on in some awkward looking thing with some kind of a ropey looking cord that's too long to an obnoxious pressure pad that's like Velcro stuck onto the grip somewhere. We're talking Crimson Trace and we're talking laser light, right? So we're talking stuff that's integrated in. Now, some of them are still activated awkwardly or stupidly. But aside from those, we're talking things that can handle a beating and make a little tiny snubby gun that's mostly dedicated for get off of me into something that can potentially work at distance if you had to over a parking lot to do something. So we're getting dead horses saying proven fact lasers slow down your reaction time. And he said earlier that he's against the lasers. He doesn't think they're worthwhile. I think we could have a debate on that because I definitely disagree. If we're talking, again, a Crimson Trace, like Smeggy said, on a little revolver, it's an advantage. And even if you don't use it, it's there. And you can use it when you need it, like Steve was saying, for just crazy, awkward situations. People always go to the range and have perfect, ideal conditions. Now think about in real life, when the bad guy gets to choose when this happens, are you going to have groceries? You're going to have your kid? You're going to have your dog? You're going to be on the phone? Somebody else, you're climbing up a ladder? I mean, come on. You're one hand, awkward position. Your life depends on it. The future of everything in your family depends on what you do in a situation, and you're not going to give yourself every advantage.
Yeah, I did see one point out there though of make sure you don't rely on the laser. So if you're training and just looking at the laser and you never like even learn how to get a good sight picture, that's going to be a negative thing. But as an added bonus, like, yeah, I'm with you. Why not have the advantage? I just personally don't have one right now.
I think that I'm pretty much on the same boat with that. I mean, I don't have a gun with a laser, but I wouldn't be against it. It seems cool just for like having it, and then, like you said, it's another advantage.
So laser, you're welcome. And we're not in the pocket of big laser. I don't care if you buy a laser.
And there was one more thing, just as, for the sake of fairness, someone was saying that a negative is, batteries can die. That's true. So just keep up on it, just like you would, make sure that your gun was in good working order when you clean it, and
always
if you don't have any broken springs or whatever. Make sure the batteries always use in it.
Always change all your batteries on your birthday.
Yeah.
Is
Just
that the
like
rule?
you do with your smoke alarm. All right. Same reason.
All right, so let's go around the room. Guns on lasers, good idea, bad idea. Bob?
I love the idea of guns on laser pistols. Yeah.
Guns, lasers on guns, lasers on guns.
I love that idea too. I think.
All right. So Bob likes
So
G-Webs.
he just flip-flopped. Of course I like it.
I
All
said didn't used to like them, but now I've started to like the idea.
Right after you flip-flopped. We got
No
it.
man?
I'm gonna go with yeah, sure.
All right, so it wins the internet. So everyone, we're into lasers. If a laser company wants to send us free lasers, you know,
No. If the laser company wants to pay us exorbitantly, we'll also take some free lasers, but we want big
but we
money.
want money and lasers.
Right.
Money.
And I just want to say, if
Lasers.
anyone's
We
in the pocket of anti-laser, my vote can be bought.
Ooh.
All right, well,
Also,
you
that
know,
means you got to have a laser on your gun by next week, and we'll
you
compare.
know where the snowman's at.
Always the politics. You know why he's anti-laser, right? Because it would melt him.
Oh, good point.
Uh-huh.
All right, well, let's move on. So, the topic coming up is what we've all been waiting for, and we thought Dana would be here, but guess he hates us. So
He abandoned us. He puts the topic in here and then leaves.
he made out like he was gonna come. We all got our hopes up, and
I feel like he's in a hotel room somewhere watching this on a laptop,
oh, he is.
like petting a white cat.
Somewhere in
He's at
Mexico.
Giordano's eating a pizza and laughing at us.
No, he's somewhere in Mexico right now in a cantina, petting a white cat.
Well, anyway, Dana will remember this, and it'll be reflected in your check. So, yeah, before we get into that, we have a little break. So, is there anything we want to throw in here, or anything cool to talk about? Anything happening?
Let's sell Patreon, because otherwise we won't be here. So if you like what we do, support it. Okay, now we can move on.
All right, so online training. I'm going to say nope, but let's hear from someone else.
This isn't good idea, bad idea. We're just going to talk about it, aren't we?
I mean, I just think it's dumb, but
Really?
Why do you think it's dumb?
So we're talking like Call of Duty.
it's
No, nobody's talking that. So
if we're talking like, okay, so if someone's like, hey, here's a technique, but if you're just relying on your online training, if you're like, yeah, I'll just train from inside the house, that's kind of like,
I would agree that it shouldn't be 100% of your training. If you're confident because you watched a bunch of videos on YouTube and now you're super awesome, then I would agree with you. But I like that material is out there, especially when it's the type of stuff where it's like, here's this drill and here's how to do it properly. Now go out and do it. Now go get some practice in with it. I think as supplemental material, it's awesome that the internet exists for that kind of stuff. Because it gives you the ability to get other points of view or other, maybe you didn't think about a certain scenario or something, and then someone brings it up in training. It's like, oh yeah, I need to work on that. I never even thought of that before.
I guess. I mean, I don't know. I'll say I'm like middle of the road. In my opinion, doesn't matter.
well, let me approach it from a different perspective then. So can you take guitar online? Can you learn the art of guitaring online?
I mean, I guess you could learn anything online.
Well, I'm saying, can you? Okay, so
Guitar. I
you
mean,
learn
yeah,
art?
I guess you could.
can you learn art online?
I guess, yeah.
I would say you can learn the tools of the software or of the how to manipulate art paintbrushes or whatever. But I think art is something that either comes naturally out of a thing, or is something that a coach or a art teacher is gonna be able to consult. What's the damn word I'm looking for? Where they can find what is your thing and bring it out of you, right? I mean, can you learn karate online? You can watch kung fu movies, or you could watch the like how-to step-by-step katas, but is that sparring? So I don't know where I'm going with that, other than
you can learn the techniques, but you can't learn the skills.
maybe. I don't even know if you can learn the techniques, but I'm saying, can you learn something and then go to a class with something, or can you go to a class and learn something and then enhance it with training?
I guess, yeah, I guess that's fair.
Yeah, obviously they can work together quite well, right? In the sense that, like I just said, you can learn the techniques for a martial arts move, but until you actually get to practice them with another person, you're never going to be able to perfect them. You can learn the physical movement, but that doesn't do you any good without someone to practice with. So I think it's the same with firearm skills. Without the ability to go out and, you know, shoot at a range and have someone else there to go, oh yeah, you were doing this, because you don't realize when you're shooting exactly where your body is and stuff like that. So yeah, I think they can complement themselves. So I don't think online training is useless. I think it's got a place.
So then I'll add to my ponderings or whatever that you're learning guitar, learning kung fu or whatever, learning art, whatever the hell all their examples I used, aren't life or death. They don't have consequences. It's not your responsibility to actually know and not just guess or assume. So with that said, you're not going to learn something that's your life depends on, literally, and others. And if nothing else, if you don't care about your own life, if you got responsibilities for others, right, you don't just want to throw your life away and all of the stuff that you have responsibility for taking care of. So it's a big responsibility to carry. And I think there's a real risk to think that you've got something down, when I can guarantee you it's different when there's someone who's a coach, someone who's used to instructing someone from novice to, you know, knowing to expert level and beyond or whatever.
Uh-oh, did he just lag out?
I think so.
Yeah.
You know, but anyways, I
do a good passionate speech. YouTube does this.
well, I just want to mention a comment then out on the YouTube side from Hunter, and he's saying he's gotten good information as an augmentation from people like Masad Ayub, and I would completely agree with that kind of stuff. You know, that's especially even with like the different laws or whatever. Now, granted, you want to make sure it's up to date and it's for like your state and all that stuff, but you know, things like that you would all like almost like a mindset kind of thing that you would also learn in a class. You can get exposed to that kind of thinking from an online video. And like I've watched everything Masad Ayub has put out that I can find on his channel. You know, and it's kind of training, but his definitely is more like law-based type stuff as far as the legality of concealed carry.
Where did I get cut off at?
Right at the good part.
Which was that? I was going and going, and then I was like, oh, I'm not connected anymore. Instagram knows what I said.
About a minute and a half ago, I would say. Oh, a minute anyway.
What the hell, Bob? How about a topic? Where was I at in the discussion? Because I said a bunch of stuff, obviously, after I...
You were talking about how, you know, you can... don't expect to, like, be a master or something without having...
a coach, somebody to look over your shoulder, somebody who knows how to take somebody from basic to novice, or from novice to expert or whatever. So that, and then I was going to say Panteo Productions does an excellent series of actual instructors who understand the medium that they're using, so they don't try to over-explain. I think that a lot of the fuddish mentality on online training comes from the buffoonery that is laughed at out there, and that's by no means an indication of anything other than the low-hanging fruit and the extremes, right? So there's people that understand the medium and are fully capable of what is appropriate to talk about in a one-way video environment and what's not, and what to leave caveats on. So if you watch somebody like a Masad Ayub, actually, honestly, almost anybody over at Panteo is going to be excellent instructors to listen to, and they're not with some fantasy like you're going to walk away from this as trained. All that being said, we're not even talking about the non-CCW, non-tactical, whatever. We've got hunter safety online training. We've got gunsmithing online training. We've got history and that kind of thing. There's classes on the Second Amendment and Constitution that are available. So let's not be too focused on just again, what the stuff that's kind of laughed at sometimes with the online stuff. And of course, the people that hate Jaeger, who've never taken his class before, you know, spoil that whole pool whenever you talk about online training, because they have to get their little jokes in on what they think Jaeger's training's about.
Right. Well, and that's another thing too of you know, again, so people they've only seen the video on YouTube or whatever, and they're like, oh, okay, I understand the whole class now, and I think it's dumb, and it's like you don't have the full information there, and I think that does kind of show some of the limitations of an online training, because they basically watch it and then they assume like they're supposed to have 100% of it, and obviously they don't. So that's just more proof that, yeah, you can't just rely on it completely. But that was part, actually, when you dropped out, I was talking about some of the other things, like the Masada Yub stuff. Like if you want to know the laws or even just mindset kind of stuff, it might give you something else to think about to augment your other training.
For sure. Being able to enunciate clearly to a jury of your peers why you did something, your justification for your actions, is critical.
Apparently the NRA pre-course is now online. I'm not sure what the pre-course is. That's the thing before you take something else.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It's the class before the other class.
Oh, okay. I'm not sure what the other class is before, but either way.
Well, the post training.
So I think we solved all of online training as well.
Hopefully we gave people a nugget and something that they can take to their whatever they're doing, their blog, their podcast, their videos, whatever, and have a discussion. Take it to the gun show this weekend.
Oh yeah, 308 day. Cool.
308 day.
March 8th, 308.
Is the gun of the day a 308? No.
No, of course not. What would we do that?
Bob doesn't pay attention to that kind of stuff.
It was 308 day until I was looking at Instagram earlier.
I actually didn't pick the gun of the day, Smeggy, so stuff it.
Bob quit doing that a long time ago.
Oh, okay.
So we want to do gun of the day since it's...
I think we should do gun of the day.
All right, let's do gun of the day, and then I'm going to say let's do gun shop of the day.
Oh, wait, hold on. We're going to do what now?
Let's make gun of the day the Bren gun in 308.
What segment are we going into now?
I almost bought one.
We're going into...
Bob could shut up anytime. I thought we had some sort of a elaborate gun of the day thing going. No?
I'm putting my jacket on.
All right, no intro. So there's the gun of the day. It's the old Gen 1 Glock. Anybody wants to buy it, send me some prices. It's for sale.
Oh,
in 9mm.
Yep, the first millimeter.
9mm, mini mill.
Anyway, this one was built in 1989. Pretty nice. It's got the original little Tupperware. I don't have the sticker on it or the little ammo holder, but yeah. And if you buy it, I'll give you a whole bunch of Glock stuff with it.
Glock Gen 5 patch?
I don't have one of them. So anyway, I really like the Gen 1s. They're smooth and just cool. They're fun to shoot. It's neat to shoot a piece of history. Glock's a pretty neat gun.
Dead Horse is asking how many rounds.
About 50 rounds.
You've only shot that 50 times?
Yeah.
I don't even know if I've ever shot it. I might have shot it. You have to go look and see if I had video of it.
But if there is a video of it, that's the only time you took it out shooting?
Yes.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Wow. That seems pretty cool.
I look at it, fiddle with it once in a while, put it back in its box.
So now comparing, because I'm not a Glock person, but since that's the Gen 1, comparing that to like the Gen 5, how many changes have there? But like how much stuff has really changed?
Gen 2 added another pin, put texture on it, and then Gen 3 added finger grooves and changed the extractor. Did some other changes, changed the mag a little bit, I think, by then. Changed the ejector, and then what, Gen 4 put new texture again. Wait, what am I thinking? Gen 4 added the backstrap, and then yeah, there was a new texture on that. And then 5 is whatever they did to 5. Ruined it. This was back when the original 34 parts. No accessory rail. That didn't exist yet.
Oh yeah, look at that. It's kind of weird.
All smooth.
I like it though.
All right, so that's the old Glock. And what are we doing for gun of the day, or gun shop of the day? Looks like we're doing the 18th through the 20th, and that's the money. That is the time we were at the castle. We should have John in here. Is he out there? Oh no, we already went to the castle. Screw John. Even if he is out there, he's not joining us. So
yeah,
Marco.
we went to the castle the other day.
Yeah, Marco can join, but he ain't out there. So, oops, I'm showing secrets. Okay, so now we're talking about the Gunshot Lupo tour last year. We tried to talk about a gun shop every day. Today we're talking about a segment of the tour. This one I hooked up with Marco down in Maryland, and we went down to Washington, D.C. We went to the NRA Museum, and we checked out a couple of gun shops. It was pretty fun. Stayed a couple of days there, worked on the computer, and hung out with Marco, and then headed out from there, stopped at a Amco place, and real nice place. Stopped, kind of no appointment or nothing. I just called them as I was driving. Right when they opened, and they did my checkup on the transmission. That was about enough mileage to, be the checkup time. Everything was good to go. So then I headed off to the NRA, or the NFA branch of the ATF in West Virginia. It's in the middle of nowhere. And I got there pretty much exactly on time to do the show there. I don't remember, was it episode number 400 we did there? I think it was episode 400 or something.
Yeah, somewhere around there, yeah.
Pretty neat, and that was one of the things I've wanted to do since 2012. So that was the culmination of the two things I wanted to do for a long time: is hit that Bannerman Castle and then check out the actual NFA branch of the ATF. Interesting that it's like really far away from DC and in the middle of nowhere and on the middle of a big VA hospital. Well, not in the middle, but on the edge of a big VA hospital. So I wonder what the story is there, if there is any story. It just seems weird.
Yeah.
Now, did you just go there, or were you able to go in and talk to people and stuff?
I had no appointment, and I had tried in 2012 to get an appointment, and I didn't feel like it this time. I didn't know when I was going to be there or anything. And I can't remember what exactly was happening. I was trying to meet up with Pink when he had time off, and then I had some things from Amazon, because at the time I was thinking I would have to redo the battery in the back of the van. So I had sort of van maintenance. Oh, and the van wasn't running great, right? Pink was going to help me tune it up. So I had that kind of stuff on my mind and less prep work for that. Oh, there goes the phone. So we're off Instagram. So no, I didn't try to contact them. And when I got there, it's on a VA hospital, but it's like you got to have an ID to even get past the front gate kind of facility. It's not like a hospital, I don't think. It's something else. Or, it's like offices or something. It's not like a emergency room and patients and stuff.
Right. It's like administrative stuff.
Yeah, it's something where it's just office buildings and nothing, no signage or anything. So anyway, no, I didn't go in there, but I did just park on the side. I happened to just park on the side. And I don't think I looked at Google Maps or nothing. Maybe I did, but I just happened to park on the side that you can park on. And that happened to be literally the place where the ATF technology branch is, and we were able to CSI the pictures from the olden days and the pictures we took in the live video from the show, and we saw those cargo containers where they had they have all the 4473s from gun shops that have closed down. So I probably closer than anybody else that's ever listened to this show to all the 4473s from every gun shop that's ever closed down in the United States. My dog peed on the grass in front of him almost.
Mm.
Oh, man, I was hoping you said he peed on the 4473s as a statement against the infringement that is gun registration.
He didn't need to pee at the time, and I ran off. I didn't want to stay over there because it looked weird for me to be walking my dog right next to the ATF, so I just left, went back to my van. But anyway, I tried to have my dog pee on the ATF grass. He didn't do it. Then we got headed off from there to see Pink in Ohio. That was a pretty fun drive. I drove through what is that, West Virginia, and then into Ohio, right at the base of Pennsylvania there. So I guess that's where Gettysburg is and all the Civil War stuff. So I stopped to look at a view and just stopped for a minute, and they had sort of, you know, how they'll have like stuff set up to tell you about whatever points of interest, in this case history, and like all the different battlefields and stuff. So it would have been neat to go there just to see some of that battlefield stuff.
I'll be seeing that in May.
I was gonna say, this is a little bit south of where you're gonna be going. You're going to the Gettysburg area to check out the museum there.
Oh yeah. I just saw there's like all these monuments, I guess, to like states, you know, armies, that you can like go inside and stuff. I guess it's like a loop that you can drive around or something.
Oh, like a driving tour?
Yeah. And there seems to be, you know, maybe like 8 or 9 or 10, kind of a lot of them. So I'm interested in checking those out. I think those would be kind of cool.
Yeah, that sounds real cool.
That was the 5th leg of the Gunshot Loophole Tour, and we're about to start the 1st leg of the 2018 tour here in a couple of days. Should be fun.
Cool.
All right, so where are we at now? We did Gun Shop of the Day, Gun of the Day, Gun Movie of the Day, and we don't have one.
Not even a gun movie. So we're not leaving that on the audience, because even though we've asked for movies of the day when they never actually sent one, it's not like it's their fault. What are we gonna do for a movie of the day? What's the last movie you've seen? Smeggy?
I was gonna say the last movie I saw was that Kentucky Fried thing. I don't think that counts the gun movie, but I did want to mention a episode of a TV show on Amazon. So the TV show is Electric Dreams, and it's all like each episode is a sci-fi short story.
It's where the guy pours champagne on his keyboard and his keyboard falls in love with him and ruins his relationship.
No, it's not that movie. It's what's his name? Philip K. Dick, the sci-fi guy.
Yeah.
Anyways, each episode is like its own story, so you can actually just kind of jump in and watch whatever episode you want. And so I would like to highlight specifically episode 6, I believe, and it's called like Safe and Secure, something like that. It's the title. But it's all about like you have to get these wristbands to go into school, and they're worried about attacks, and you're trading your freedom for security and blah blah blah, all that stuff. It was very thought provoking. I thought it was a very well done story, and it's not technically gun related, but it kind of is, as far as, you know, when you give up security and freedom, or you give up you know, anonymity and freedom for so-called security. So that's my vote, but you guys probably haven't seen any of it, so I'll give it 2 electric thumbs up.
I would say the last movie I saw was Brothers Grimm, and it actually does have guns in it. Unfortunately, they're when Germany was at war with France, and France actually was winning and had pretty much invaded part of Germany. And yeah, the Brothers Grimm, you know, they do the fairy tales. Well, it was all about them. They were con men or something. But there was shooting, and yeah, there was shooting some. But that's the last movie I saw, so yeah.
Angelina, last movie you seen?
I think it was a movie called Bad Moms with that chick from the 70s show. So it wasn't gun related.
Seen it. I don't think there was a gun in it. Last movie I seen, I'm only halfway through it because I paused it for something, and I'm going to watch the rest of it, is Tomorrow When the World Never, or whatever. How's it called? Tomorrow When the War Ends? No, Tomorrow When the War Begins.
When the War Begins, yeah. The Australian...
the girl Red Dawn. It's the Australian Red Dawn. It's the second Red Dawn. All the 3 of the above. It's all in everything.
And you know what? It's a far better movie than the new Red Dawn that America made.
Okay, I was going to kick you off of the show, but all right, I agree with you there. It's not even in the same ballpark. That is crap. That's not even a steaming pile crap. That's like just boring crap. This is literally the only way they could have ever redone Red Dawn, with a bunch of chicks and China.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah. Very well done. Like, just and it works, and the actors are good. Excellent movie.
Now,
Right.
is it just because it's like a similar concept of Red Dawn, or is it actually
Have you not seen
related to
Tomorrow
Red
When the
Dawn?
War Begins?
I haven't.
Oh,
Nope.
you guys
You-
have to see it, and then we'll talk about it more.
Holy moly. You have to. It's on Amazon. Go watch this movie. It's
All
Okay,
right.
tell me what it is later, and I'll totally watch it.
Oh my goodness. See, I envy them, Bob.
I do
Just
like
like-
Red Dawn. I like Red Dawn. It's okay.
This one is so
Like girls? You also like girls?
Like,
that's probably a personal question.
Or because no.
Well, no,
In
I just mean like
you really shouldn't be asking female coworkers those kind of questions.
Sexual harassment.
Oh, Me Too movement going
I'm
on.
just saying.
Me
Anyway,
too.
it's Red Dawn except with chicks. It's awesome.
I'll check it out.
I'm adding to playlist right now.
Yeah.
Oh, from 2012. Okay, cool.
All right, so I think unless we got something else, that brings us to the quote of the day, right?
No.
Well, no, we have to
Why
talk
does
about
everyone insist on passing up history?
tomorrow, and
So it's, what do you call it?
the
Really?
young ones that don't want to do the history.
No, they want to forget history because they want to repeat it. So it's 308 Day, like we already mentioned. And where'd it go?
I was ashamed to mention it because our gun wasn't a 308.
Well, it's 308 though. It's one of the best rounds ever, so it's worth mentioning for sure. It
Oh.
is.
Almost
Mark.
as good as a 30-06.
308's better than 30-06. Sorry, 30-06 is a better round, but 308 is more historically significant at this point.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Round, yeah, always will be, always has been, always.
Sounds like an interesting show. Subject, huh? 308 versus 30-06, which is more historically relevant.
Yeah, exactly right.
Put it on the calendar.
But today is March 9th, speaking of the calendar, which means it is who died today? Unfortunately, in 1995. We're sad to hear. Who?
I said my soul.
Your soul died in 1995?
Yeah.
Born in 1993 or something.
No, I was 10 years old when my soul died in 1985.
Jerry Garcia.
No. But he might have. I don't know when he died. Anyway, it was Galil. So, Galil. Best known for inventing the Galil. He also helped out Uzi. So, he died in 1995. Sitting around thinking, I was around in 1995, but were you thinking about meeting, shaking hands with somebody like that? Proud to say I've shaken hands with a couple of people who I'm going to be happy to say I've shook hands with them. So, get out there and shake hands with people. Meet them. It's possible. They're human beings. Go meet them. I missed meeting Kalashnikov, and I'm kicking myself. I could have met him
Did you had a chance to?
twice. I didn't have the money. I mean, I didn't. I could have if I had been a better life decisions and had money laying around. Yes, I had the opportunity twice to meet him.
Damn, that would have been awesome.
You figure when he's alive, you figure, oh, I'll meet him next time. I'll just make some money and go next time when it was going on a regular basis. Anyhow, here and there, that's that piece of history. But there's also other interesting history today. And I have to find it on our boring history site over here. Today, in 1734, Russians take Danzig in Poland.
Mm-hmm. Russians are always kicking Poland now.
Nice.
Napoleon married Josephine somebody or another in Paris, 1796.
That was his downfall.
Isn't anything with tits or tires will always give you problems? A woman's always a downfall. Yoko, right? Oh, by the way, it's International Women's Day, so I'll follow my statement up with that.
Classy. 1864. Ulysses S. Grant is appointed Commander-in-Chief of the Union Forces.
That was the beginning of the end for the South.
1916, Mexican bandit Pancho Villa leads 1,500 horsemen on a raid of Columbus, New Mexico, killing 17 U.S. soldiers. 1,500. It killed 17 of our guys. So that'd be an interesting thing to find out about. 1,500, only 17 of our guys. Curious what happened there.
Wonder how many Mexicans died.
I mean, it sounds like an ass whooping, but
didn't they count the Mexican guys or
Pancho Villa? I don't know. You don't. He's a dude.
Yeah.
So 1964, Smeggy. What happened 1964 in Michigan? 1964 today. Well,
I don't know, but I'm interested to find out.
Beatles landed and started dating local Michigan girls? What year were you born, Smeggy?
Nowhere near that time, Bob. So, anyways, what was it?
1964, the first Ford Mustang rolled off the Ford assembly line. I'm surprised Pawnery hasn't talked about this earlier today. Pawnery doesn't care about the Ford Mustangs, I guess.
Yeah.
And then for Bob and Angelina, 1959, the Barbie doll was unveiled at a toy fair in New York City.
I actually never owned a Barbie doll, so.
I did it. I stole one of my sisters, so my G.I. Joe had a date.
Nice. Yeah, I never owned one. I had like Ninja Turtles and shit though.
Also, 1943, Bobby Fischer, the first American world chess champion. He was born today in 1943. Bobby Fischer. Right, other stuff is boring that happened today. Except I think somebody said it was their birthday, so that wasn't boring. So congratulations. Somebody out there said something on my Instagram post that they were born today on 308. So I feel like if you were born on 308, don't your parents like have an obligation to buy you a 308 every year? They're the ones who decided to have you on that day.
Well, no, your parents should have bought you a 308 on the first day of deer hunting season. That you were old.
Those particular people born on this hallowed day should be honored with the 308 every year.
Okay, so apparently, according to G-Webs, everybody owns a 308, should go outside and fire it off into the air to honor people who were born this day.
Commemorate the day.
Yeah.
Hopefully it doesn't fall on anybody who was born today, because that would be ironic. I'm sad.
That would be ironically sad.
So we did everything, I think. We talked about our gun shop of the day, which we try to do every day. Did we ask our listeners to add their gun channels logos to their YouTube channels?
Not today.
I talked about that once in a while. So that's a thing that can be done. And we do appreciate everybody who's sticking with us during the transition as we transition gun channels into whatever the hell it's going to be next. If you'd like to be part of that, then be part of it. Talk about it instead of just sitting there like lumps, or like some of the people who like bicker in the backgrounds about how it's not the same as it used to be. Let's talk about what it could be. And you can start a chat like Smeggy does anytime you want and have conversations like that. So with that, I think we can talk about what's coming up before tomorrow's show, which will be 5:25. It'll be a Friday show, so we'll solve the gun business. Actually, tomorrow should be fun. Then gun tech and the alt topics.
Okay. So I guess we're done, and we can get to the quote of the day.
Well, what about what's coming up?
Bob doesn't care about any of that. He only cares
So I always suck when I go off my memory, but I know
oh God,
early watch in the morning.
Memory?
Are you just gonna talk every time I talk? What the hell?
Well, because you talking and you're not saying anything, so I just figure I'd better talk over top so people understand.
Oh my God. I was saying that the early watch is in the morning, and then there's normally some type of afternoon thing going on, some more like open show type stuff. And then let's see, Friday night. So we have Edge of the Week. Night Strike's been doing Friday Night Strike or something. Forget exactly what he calls it, but he's been doing a show.
Is that because he feels like him and Heavy need to go head to head? He's stepping up to Heavy.
I think so, right? Because Heavy was going to start doing his show again on Fridays.
Friday live show showdown.
Awesome. And then
cool.
Does Clover or Ghost do a show on Friday? I feel like one of them does one also.
Clover does. Ghost just jumps into other people's chats and says things as a guest.
Oh, okay. So Clover does a show on Friday as well.
Yep.
Yeah, Ghost just butts in.
He joins as a guest, yes.
And you never know when the Smiggy Cave will pop up, so always keep an eye out for that.
I think that can happen at any time.
Maybe even after this show.
Ooh,
We'll roll until 6 in the morning again, like we have been a couple times this week.
Here's what happens during those middle of the night epic chats that you have. I stay up all night and we have epic chats, and then Hosh will jump in and then like other people, and it becomes epic. And then I don't get much sleep, or I sleep until like the afternoon. So thanks a lot for making epic chats in the middle of the night, Smeggy.
That's true.
You are welcome. All you did is sleep in through the early watch, so whatever.
That's gonna put a crimp on the day.
Well, then don't do stuff during the day and do stuff in the middle of the night. Obvious.
Yeah.
Anyways, whatever. I think that's all of the shows. If I'm missing one, the people will add it in.
What?
Oh, man.
How could this even happen when Bob's almost about to do his thing and Jimmy's not even here? And we said we were going to quit doing the tactical quizzes. What?
Yeah, I'm not sure because, I mean, it's not after the second segment of the show.
And there wasn't like an awkward pause and we all looked at each other weird and then finally something happened. So here's what happened. Here's the question. Since we only have the lousy YouTube side, I'm not saying the 23 people watching are lousy. People are fine. The YouTube platform is lousy. Anyhow, you're all going to win because it's only the one platform. So there's no lag issue or nothing. Who was the artist and for extra bonus points song that we started the show out with today? To be pretty simple. And I don't even have my countdown calendar handy.
Ding, 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 ding.
I don't know what the answer is though, so I sure hope you're watching.
I don't remember.
I know it's not 42 or 308, so. Or the fact that John's lousy. Yeah, that's probably not the answer. Midnight says Danzig Mother.
He's close because he's correct, but not ultimately correct.
He's close because he's correct, but not really. So, okay. Keep getting more correct.
It wasn't Mother.
Oh, yeah, that song.
And that's the song. And it's Danzig. And that's the history. So, yeah. Who was that?
It's Midnight Range TM.
Oh, it's Midnight. Well played. Well played.
He's actually won a few times now. I think, he's
it's fixed.
No, he's nowhere near the some of the all-time greats were, but
I'll tell you what, ever since we moved tonight, Sean, I think doesn't stay up late. So I think that crown is for the taking.
That's why we had to move to the nighttime slot, because otherwise he would have just been patch raping us every night.
All right, so we're giving that to Midnight because he was close enough?
We're giving it to Midnight.
All right, well, Midnight Range TM for at least getting the correct band and close enough for, whatever. We got some stuff on the patch wall. You can see the screen. Pick something. But that makes you the tactical of the day.
Does he even get a patch with a double hotshot like that?
Damn, I mean, nothing is better than that.
I think that should be
That's the prize.
Your prize. I mean, you got Bob interrupting me and saying the exact same thing at the same time. It was actually pretty well coordinated.
I bet you guys planned
I thought I did quite well.
That was like a rude harmonic jinx.
You owe me a Coke.
I want a Pepsi.
All I wanted was a Pepsi. Just one lousy Pepsi.
You wouldn't give it to me. I went to your schools, your institutional learning. Wait, I went to your schools, your churches, your institutional learning facilities.
And I'm crazy?
All right, come on. Is he saying anything? We don't have a patch. There's no patch. All right, so everyone's jealous. They're going to turn on him. It's a shame. It's like seeing a cop in jail or like an innocent victim in a pit of tigers. They're just going to turn on him because they got a
Christians and the Lions.
What's the white skull on the left side? You don't even know what a Magpul Dynamics skull is? That's a Magpul Dynamics skull, but unlike most Magpul Dynamics skulls you'll get out there, this one was given to me by either Chris Costa or Steve Fisher in the years when they were running the school. So I don't remember who actually gave it to me, but you're getting it handed off from them to my board to you. So there you go. And I don't know if I have your address, so use that link, which I dropped, I think, but I'll drop it again. and let us know your address. So we also keep track over there for people that try to steal patches off of us.
That is a badass patch, man.
All right, so now I think Bob can go back to his hour-and-a-half quote.
What? I was doing a quote.
What? Before we do, like, share, subscribe. Thanks everyone for listening.
All right. Well, no, I don't say that. That's good. Support us on Patreon if you'd like. Keep the show running. Our quote is by Winston Churchill. I am an optimist. Does not seem to be too much use in anything else. Good point. All right. Thanks, everybody, for watching and listening. We'll see y'all tomorrow.
The guys and gals at gunwebsites.com encourage you to take a CCW class every year, practice at least once a month, and carry every day. Thanks for watching gunwebsites.com.